We are Legion.
What is up, comic fan? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Sunday night. That means this is at week's end, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and so much more. But before we get into any of that, check this out and let's go old school tonight. I like that. I forgot I still had that in here. That was the first little intro I made. Like, it was very, very good stuff. Like, feeling nostalgic. And it's only 9 seconds. That definitely beats that 45-second one. What say you, Ryan? I saw you were laughing at it too.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Like that. I mean, I remember that intro running for so long, and like, it's just good. Like, it's real simple. It's just like full of everything that that your fandom is built around. So
it is. It really is.
Like, simple and easy is the best way to go.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
I need to take a lesson.
Yeah, looking at that, it's got like DC. It's got a couple of Marvel characters on there. It's got Power Rangers. It's got the Crow in there. Just like stuff that really just stands out. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. What say you, Christopher?
I still have that file.
Yeah.
Like today I actually thought about throwing that in there for Two Cool Guys when I was editing. I'm like, I'll use the new one. Like,
that's the last time.
I know E did a good job with that one, but yeah, I still have the original. I think I actually have the updated one too. Like, you put like a change to it, or maybe you changed out a graphic or two.
All I did was just cut the end out of it all.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like there's a 45-second long one, and I'm like, this just is not. This is great for a live stream because you go live and you run a little intro. It gives people time to come in and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And if you're watching on the replay, you can fast forward through it, but you got to have like a short one too. But
yeah, I'm sure I still have it.
Let's just enjoy it one more time. You got Alex Ross in there. You got Spawn in there. Like, it's just good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, I made it on Google Photos. Like that's back when I was.
Oh, nice.
Phones and stuff, and you can go to Google Photos and just like hit like highlight a couple of pictures and hit movie, and it'll just put them in order, and they'll just do like a slideshow basically. That's why sometimes you see the black on the sides, and sometimes it's filled out because I don't edit. So like, I did it one time, and when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. Now that I know that you needed all widescreen photos, I just still didn't care. And the music attached to it, that's all part of the same thing. You can just kind of touch and move which direction, which order you want them to play in, and yeah. And being that I've made it on Google and YouTube is Google, I don't think they'll ever have a problem with the music in it. It should be
from humble beginnings.
Oh yeah. Let's say hey to people in the chat real quick. We got Pops Attic up in there. Let's go, new guy Ryan. Oh yeah, and also for the 11 people that are already here, there is a special announcement by the guy down here. Just left that sup comment, which I'm really excited about.
Down there, up here,
yeah,
all over.
To the left, to the right.
In solidarity with the fuzzy face and the orange circle for those that knew Ryan back when he was pumping content out before the new job. That and you, whatever media you, God, how did you used to say it? Wherever you like get your media from, just look for the fuzzy face and the orange circle. I'm probably there. Yeah. What is up?
Days.
Yeah. Digger Jim is up in the building. Hey. Now it took us a minute because I was running my mouth excited about Ryan's announcement tonight. The tripod returns. We are here. What is going on? Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood with meh. Yeah,
the cover was the best part, right?
Yeah, there's also a fantastic Megacon exclusive from Big Time Collectibles for that cover from Miko Suyan. Flashpoint Beyond is getting good. Oh yeah, it started strong. I really enjoyed that. We went in the way back machine. Oh yeah, for sure. 45-second intros are for people who start on time. That's fair. That's why it's
Like, it even had the last Ronin in there.
It does. It's John Jang. Every time I watch it, I catch another one. That's the one that I catch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Jang / Ronin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That'll let you know how old that was. That was issue 1. Been a long time. What is going on, Pocan Joe? Kenneth Bird is up in the chat tonight. What is up,
Mr.
brother?
Bird.
How are you doing? People saying, hey, Ignacio, what is happening?
What up?
Paul Rogers is up in here. It looks like he's working overtime at the Augusta Book Exchange. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, hey. Moon Knight Spider-Man art was awesome. What a great week for nerd nonsense. Good evening to you, aggressively relaxing. All right. I don't think I have any news. Like, I thought about this because I was kind of rushing to get here on time. I don't think I have anything that what's new? Is there anything really new this week?
Well, we have another death in the sad news
Who died?
world. Mark Ward, is that his name? From Tremors.
Oh, Fred
Fred
Ward.
Ward.
Oh,
Fred Ward, there you go.
I mean, that's horrible. When you said Mark Ward and
You thought he was
went
going to say Mark Wade?
yes,
Oh no,
No.
no.
Second too. As soon as he said Tremors, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, Fred Ward.
dude.
Uh,
Normally I would never be relieved to hear Fred Ward died.
No.
Good God, Ryan, you watch that.
Well, I don't know his actual name, and like I don't know pretty much any other movie he was in. But as soon as I saw his picture that day, I was like, Tremors! Like, oh my god! Like, it's one of my favorite series of all time.
Tremors and The Right Stuff. That was a fantastic.
Yeah, he was in the right
Oh.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Great film.
Yes,
Mhm.
but mostly Tremors. I mostly know him from Tremors, and yeah, that was sad to hear because even like Tremors 6 and 7, like they have just, they have out Fast and Furious,
6
Fast and
and
Furious.
7?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there are so many. There was a great like series on Sci-Fi. Like, man, I love Tremors, and it all started way back when, So,
Ryan, the last time I remember something about Tremors was the dad from Family Ties was actually the star of one of those like 3rd or 4th sequels.
Good God.
the only character I
Michael
believe
Rose?
that really carried over is old Bert. And he is like Office Rocker. Jamie Kennedy was in like the 5th one as his son.
Escape from Alcatraz, that's right.
Yeah, road
The 6th
trip.
one, they
People-
go to like Antarctica and they're like drilling oil. Like, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
You're on top of the Tremors thing.
Oh man, I love Tremors, man. It's so good. It's so ridiculous, but it's still so good.
Old Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it's like an Americanized Dune. If Dune hit modern day America, what would happen?
Put a cowboy hat on him and throw dynamite at him.
I'd survive because I have done my research.
It sounds like it. Reba McEntire was in the first one. I remember that. Her and her
Yeah.
husband. Yeah. We're like
Wow.
gun nuts.
It still blows me away that they thought they were making a legitimate horror movie. Yes.
Yeah,
It
I
was
thought it
considered
was-
a flop because it was basically a comedy. But they thought they
It's
were
all
making a
camp.
horror movie. Yeah.
It was all camp.
It's so good though.
Days before CGI.
When they're like the guy with the alpacas or something, the llamas that get eaten in the first one. Y'all remember that? They do have like a llama.
Llamas?
Yeah, he had like llamas or alpacas or something. They kept getting eaten. I wasn't one of them because I remember the llamas. I remember Kevin Bacon, a dude getting eaten out of a tire, the thing busting through the wall of Reba McEntire's basement,
Yeah.
and them doing like the pole vault
Roof.
and rock the rock. It has been so. I watched that movie so many times as a kid, but it's been years, like at least 20
Yeah.
years I've seen it at this point.
I mean, the first one, yeah, it's probably been like 20 years since I've seen it. But,
Now I feel like I need to go
all the
watch
other
all the other ones now.
Oh, they're so good, man. They're so over the top.
Alaska digging for oil, trimmer. Is that like the thing? They got his scent now, and they just follow him.
Do they have a what?
Do they have like Fred Ward's scent, and they just follow him wherever he goes? Or something?
Yeah, the next one is all going to be underground for sure then. Too soon?
Holy cow, man!
He's the trimmer now. So every year, Marvel picks a Met game and this year it hadn't happened. I was about to make a video, but then we get a White Sox reference where they didn't use a real player's name. I did not know that they did that.
That's pretty aggressive for a relaxing hobby.
Yeah. Hot take right here. Sharknado over Trimmers.
Nah.
It feels like the easiest horror movie to escape. I just want to get on a plane.
Unless there's snakes on that plane.
Of course, remember in the first one, they were very isolated. After the first one, they actually become more or less hunters. So, like, they're more interested in being there. But in the first one, they're isolated because the road's all destroyed and they can't get across. And the telephone wires were broken down as well, so they couldn't call out. That's how they...
Wasn't there one where the Trimmers come, like, above ground and they got, like, 2 legs and walk around on 2 legs?
Mm-hmm. That's in the third one, whenever Bert gets that high-powered rifle and shoots right through the engine block of their Jeep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're like, all we got to do is get over there. We can get out of here. And then he, like, sees the ass blaster and he shoots through a concrete wall and the whole engine block. And they come around the corner and the thing is dead, but then, like, there's oil running out of the engine. They're like, oh, okay.
I remember catching that as well. Lightning is going to hit Ryan. What is going on, Panda?
Don't worry, I'm indoors.
While we're at the front of the show, I do want to go ahead and make a couple of announcements real quick before I forget. First off, big shout out to Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the channel, as well as Justin's Comics. If you need anything Cleaner Press, hit him up. Let him know that I sent you and get that discount or that special offer he's running. Megacon is coming up the weekend of May 17th or something. It's in Florida, and Big Time Collectibles has announced a lot of exclusive stuff they're doing for Megacon, including that Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood, maybe that Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood, a big mystery box that they're doing that's exclusive for their $150 mystery box. They've got the World's Finest #1, 2 different covers that are foil goodness. So I'm going to put a thing up on Instagram in the coming week here where the little details will be included in it, but more or less, like, if you share a post like of this Megacon exclusive stuff that they're doing, as long as you tag Big Time Collectibles and myself, I'll be able to keep track of it. And Nelson and myself are going to put you into a giveaway and give away a World's Finest #1 set, both of them. Batman and the well.
Mark, I believe Miko is actually going to be at their booth that weekend too.
Yes, yeah. Miko will be there to be able to sign stuff. So those Megacon exclusives, a lot of people can't go. So he did put some up on the website, just a very, very few amount of the Megacon exclusive stuff. I don't know if it's sold out yet or if there's still some available, but if there are any of the exclusives that you've seen shared or you want to go check them out, there might be some left on the website to get, because he does make them accessible to everybody, because not everyone can make the cons, as well as he's really good about giving back to the people that help support and everything, because he genuinely appreciates it. So I was talking to him today, and I'm gonna put together a little way for me to track it, and I'm gonna do the legwork of keeping up with it. He's gonna supply the giveaway for it. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll share it on my Instagram page and try to share it out to people so y'all know where to what to do to hunt, kind of thing. But yeah, those are amazing books, so definitely be worth a shot. They're not cheap either. DC's not big on doing foil exclusives. It'll be the only DC foil exclusive at Megacon. Jesus Christ. There's not even dirt in space. I'm hoping my connection can get me Soup 78, Bat 89 foils next weekend. Yeah.
When did we get the Human Target one-shot news? Was that after last week's show?
Oh, that was this week, because you shared about it. Even John, whose comment is highlighted, he shared about it as well. I share out those Megacon exclusives every day and tag you. Will I get an entry each time? I need ideas for IG content. Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as you tag me. Yeah, if y'all want to share stuff out more than once, as long as you tag me, and I'm at that, because you have to tag me. You can't do a what are they called, shorts, or what are those things called on Instagram?
Real.
Stories.
Stories, reels. You can't do those. Those things that pop up for a second and go away. Because by the time I check, half the time when people tag me in those, it just says can't even see anymore. It actually has to be a post that like sits. So because it'll go to my direct messages and stuff. But yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, you can definitely enter more than once.
Taylor.
I'm only in if you use a wheel. All right, then I'm going to do a wheel since Taylor wants me to do a wheel. So we're making this. We're building this in real time right now. Brother John said trimmers in space, and I hope it wasn't a joke.
Right.
All dirt is in space. We're going to have to define space before we go any farther. If you want to taste space, drink Coke Starlight. I don't think I've ever had that. So talk about the Human Target one shot.
Yeah. So come when is it? August or is it in July? I don't remember the exact month, but basically they're going to take a 1 month hiatus to give Smallwood some time to catch up on a few issues.
We're already in it. We're in the hiatus right now.
Well, yeah, we're in the hiatus, but I guess during this hiatus they're going to give us a little sampling. I think it's 3 different artists. They're basically doing a one shot. Tom King is writing it, and then he has 3 different artists working on it, and then they also have 3 incredible covers. Personally, I think, man, I really like all of them, but the one that has like all the different pieces of the characters and stuff, I think that's probably my favorite one. But you really can't go wrong with any of them. I'm pretty excited to see what it does. It sounds like it's going to be kind of like a one-off mission sort of thing. Maybe from before the events that are taking place in that story right now. Kind of get him on like some super spy espionage kind of stuff, doing his regular job without the poison. But it sounds really cool, and it'll be really interesting to see different artists like take on it because of like how specific and stylized Smallwood's artwork is.
And if I remember correctly, it said that each artist is going to be a different small story inside of it. It's going to be like 3 separate stories that kind of come together to form a bigger narrative.
Yeah, I think it's all like one consecutive story. It's just like different time periods or maybe like flashback stuff, you know, using different artists to depict the different styles.
Nice. Human Target comes back in September. Appreciate that, John. God, that seems like such a long wait.
I know, right?
But they did a good job kind of bookending it in the middle. It's kind of like how they did with Nice House. Story-wise, you know, it gives you a nice little cliffhanger and a big aha moment. So, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize we were in the hiatus, though. So I was like,
there it is.
I think the other day I was like, man, when's the last time we got
story? That's right. Yeah. 3 different stories.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I just crossed over 700 subscribers, guys.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. All right.
So Chris is doing a giveaway real quick.
Now?
I'm just kidding. What is going on circumstances up in here? I don't think you're wrong for hoping he dies at the end. Like it depends on how they play it. Like I don't necessarily see it being like delivering as an impactful of a story if he does live. But we'll see what direction he goes with it. I mean, they have already killed off Guy Gardner, so you know. I mean, this story take place on a world that's isolated to this story. You know, it's not continuing on anything else right now. So I hope he swings for the fences. Do whatever you want to do. Don't hold back.
How many like death of whatever character you choose did Marvel do last year?
Probably a lot.
like all of their characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Thank you.
Let DC take a swing at it. They can kill him. He got a great story on his way out.
It's Tom King, of
Thanks,
course.
Jim.
There's been like the last. I mean, we're due for a death of a main character in the title because you know you had the lead in Rorschach survive. Obviously, in Supergirl, they both survived. You know, obviously in Killing Time, he's going to make it through. Strange Adventures, everyone pretty much made it through. So it's. We need to kick back to the. We need to get some dead people here.
Thank you, Chop. The one thing that caught my eye a little while ago is that apparently Daniel Craig was tasked with originally to play Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and then he was basically a last minute cancellation for COVID fears or COVID reasons, and basically John Krasinski got to step into the role afterwards, but it was Daniel Craig that was originally supposed to be Doctor Strange, and now the hot rumor is, did he sign a long-term contract or anything? No, because his time with being James Bond is finished. Is he going to be given a different character to portray? And it's just everyone's fan casting kind of thing. But that was interesting that, yeah, it's tearing up the rumor mill, going around the circles now that Daniel Craig, James Bond, was supposed to be Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. That'd been weird.
Yeah,
I'm with, I can't picture it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I still don't know how I feel about John Krasinski being in it. Like, I know it's been fan casted for so long, but it really didn't hit on anything for me. Like, I was just like, okay. I guess it being fan casted for so long and seeing like legitimate high quality images of him as Mr. Fantastic and everything, and then seeing him, I immediately thought that one picture that's been out there for 5 years looked a lot better. He looked tougher. This is kind of
savage.
It's kind of like the late night Showtime version of you as Mr. Fantastic.
You didn't like him being turned into like hairstring Play-Doh by
Not really.
Scarlet Witch.
Does he look like the 1990 movie or whatever?
Yeah.
No.
I do have it right here.
No, he did have facial hair and everything.
I would fuck everything up, but yet just because you said it, I still have it right there.
Yes, with that Superman curl.
There's John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic right there.
Do they just give him like tube socks for arms? He just swings them around.
Yeah, I like them.
Black Bolt kills him.
Mr. Fantastic. I like them.
Yeah, Jason Statham is like that's actually some good untapped potential for like, you know, they had Carl Urban play the Executioner. You know what I mean? Like that was a good character, even though they just one-offed him. But he played that role well. You know, that was fun. I mean, I'm sure Jason Statham can come in and do something. There's plenty of characters.
Yeah.
I thought Krasinski was dope, but I like that guy a lot. Yeah, I like him a lot too. But again, I think it was just because of how long it's been fan casted, it kind of took the piss out of it for me. I don't know. I don't think it was bad. It just didn't. Like I went.
It wasn't a payoff moment like you expected.
Yeah, I went premiere day, and nobody cheered at anything in that movie, which was weird for a Marvel movie. I know there's plenty of showings out there that people did have that experience, but typically when I go to these comic book movies across the board, you have those like kind of moments where you're all in the audience feeling the same thing, and I feel like that's how it was for my viewing. Everyone there, it was full, was feeling the same thing, and we're all just.
So the return of Andrew Garfield was more well received in your theater than.
Oh my God!
Than John Krasinski was.
Like I don't even BS about that, dude. Like I teared up, like happy tears. Like it was just overwhelming. Like my body is like, oh, you're supposed to have a tear right now. Like just clapping and dude. As much as I love Andrew Garfield, when Tobey Maguire walked through that portal, I'm like, oh, that's over with. That's over with. Oh. But then it was like every little thing that Garfield did got me when he said she was my MJ or the catch. I mean, everything he did, it just had so much weight to it. It was just fantastic. It didn't carry as much weight the second time I watched it.
It's Taylor Winder.
That's a valid question. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I still don't like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, did you see the cover for the upcoming Flash? Is that the next week's issue? I saw the A cover for next week's issue where he's walking through the jail cell.
I can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. I got it up here. Tarn. I don't know who did the A cover.
Looks like Todd Nuck did the second one. Maybe he did the first one, the cover A.
Cover artist Brandon Peterson. So no, this is 782 I'm looking at.
Oh yeah, me too.
Wow, you're way ahead, my man. 785. I did not. I did not.
I can't even get to
Fumble around and try
785.
Yeah, I could fumble around and try to find it. I did not, John. If you want to
Broke a
Instagram
bottle.
it to me, I'll be happy to check it out. Craig is Captain Britain. That's not a bad idea. Still, he's a little aged out though. Reed Richards is my favorite character, and I didn't mind Jim from The Office. They messed up not giving him one good trick that really hurt Wanda. You were killing her anyway. Give him a counterpunch. Yeah, they didn't like that. Just him just stepping into the all you get is like just a
That's
moment
the
where
art.
you're almost, you could just tell like that he's just stretched just a little bit, kind of entering into a scene. Like it's like he comes down just like this, right, like right there. But you could tell his body was a little bit elongated when he came down, just a little bit. They still do not have any faith in their ability to make stretchy people in movies. Like we got Miss Marvel, they pulled back from it and did the energy constructs. And Reed, they're like, we're not doing that. We're not ready for that. Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, no, my theater didn't even cheer when Professor X came in. I think it's because like they knew he was coming because you saw the trailer, and then you roll him in, and then you get the reveal that his wheelchair looks like he's riding in a yellow mobile iron lung from like the 1940s. You're like, what is happening?
Stop it.
Like, dude,
They
like,
even gave the music too. Come on.
bro, like his wheelchair goes up to here on him. Like it's like goes up his body. Like he's just hanging out of it like this. Like what is happening?
Come on.
I mean, that's the other thing. Like,
Black
you can
Bolt
scream
was my
about
favorite.
like Japan giving away their whole movie in the trailers intentionally, but at the end of the day, like if you're just gonna give everything about your movie away, like, and there's no surprises, why would you expect the audience to pop?
Yeah, that's a good point because we knew it was coming, so we knew it was.
Yeah.
That could
I
definitely.
mean,
be
your only anticipation is like, at what point in this movie is he gonna show up?
Hold on.
You,
There's
now,
only
you say this, Taylor,
He was
but
the
I
only
don't
one
know
in the
if
theater.
If Pops is here, he'll tell you, it's dude. When Captain Carter said, "I can do this all day," I cringed and shook my head. And then when that shield cut her in half, I laughed out loud. and yes, I was the only person that did, but I thought it was hilarious. Like, yes,
Yeah.
it was kind of funny. The drive-in went nuts during the Illuminati scene. Everyone was honking and yelling. Some broke a bottle, flashing their headlights.
This seems a little extravagant.
There's a wicked cover coming for X-23. I think it's Peach. Nice. Statham as Union Jack. That'd be a
Interesting.
good one. Yeah. See, and if you get someone like Statham, I would be afraid for them to not use him properly. Like the dude, like even at his age, he can pull off some amazing fight choreography scenes in this. But I don't know. It's just had a weird era for movies. You could give him a Miss Marvel FX punch. Yeah. Guess that'd be good. Hey, Jim. Xavier in the X-Men cartoon moment was the most exciting moment for me. Definitely for a lot. How's it going, Logic Blaster? What is up? I dug the Illuminati reveal, but had a feeling they were going to James Gunn all of them. Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't expect them to do it like that. I thought like we would get something for sure, but I assumed like we would just be moving on to the next thing versus wiping them all out. It was fun though.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Morty survived, and Black Bolt. That I think they started out on a sour note. Like I said, just seeing Black Bolt, comic accurate, looking tough. Like I thought he looked good. He had the wings.
Yeah,
like
and that's how he came in.
Oh my god, that was awesome. Like that was an awesome moment. Just those little callbacks.
Yeah, but again, they were all too extravagantly prideful. And that I think in the end that was their own their downfall. And they one at a time, one by one, until the two ladies were left.
Getting somebody is like he's not in the comics. He's definitely not utilized as much as he could be. There's countless characters like that you could go down a list, but getting someone like Black Bolt on the big screen like that was like, because dude, every time he shows up in comics, and granted, I don't read a lot of the newer Marvel stuff, but just go back through the years. When he shows up, it is always like it's time to do some next level stuff when the King steps into play.
Yeah.
Like
again, they had a good actor for him too.
They burned him. Yeah, I think you did. Anson Mount did great.
Yeah, Anson Mount, yeah.
I didn't watch the show. I don't have any desire to, just from hearing so many negative reviews of it. Dude, I thought it was.
They just took everything that was cool about the Inhumans and kind of massacred them. Outside of Black Bolt, they kind of, in my opinion, used the character okay, but then they had Medusa, and what's the first thing they do with Medusa? They cut all her hair. I was like, okay, we're gonna introduce Spider-Man, but guess what, guys? No spider sense and no spider webs. All he does is just walk around and climb buildings. That's it.
It's like a Superman that can't fly.
Yeah,
it's like a Black Bolt who can't talk. He's a mute.
Not only can he not speak, he can't hear.
Yeah, I thought the whole concept of Black Bolt's head imploding and like the whole scene was just not thought out. Like he imploded, not exploded. And for one, his own voice, it doesn't harm him. His voice does not harm him. Like it would literally blow his head off every.
Whoa!
Dude, shots fired.
Oh, they went lockjaw though. Was he full size or was he just a regular dog that they take the tuning fork on?
Yeah, and again, they almost killed off Lockjaw. Like it was so cheap. Like, yeah.
Alternate universe characters don't necessarily matter in terms of what the MCU can do with these characters in the future.
That's a fantastic point.
I mean, honestly, the whole Illuminati scene sounds like it was just market research for them to see how okay people would be with them coloring outside the lines.
But little things do matter though. Like when you see, like for example, like all right, this goes back to Lou Ferrigno, Bill Bixby, Hulk. In the pilot movie, Chris probably knows exactly where I'm going with this. In the pilot movie, they made a tragic mistake that they regretted for the rest of the show, but they held to their guns. They let the Hulk get shot because they wanted to have like a dynamic thing. So for the rest of this long-standing show that they had no clue would have legs still today, he couldn't be bulletproof. He had to be harmed by bullets. So to this point, when they do things like allow Black Bolt's voice to harm him, that's canon in the MCU now. That's stuff like that is. But I mean, like Reed Richards doesn't have to be a bumbling, prideful idiot in the regular mainstream universe and stuff like that. But
let's be honest, we will never see Black Bolt again.
Oh man, that's scary to think.
Never again.
Dude, that moment where he just walked up to Strange and said, he comes up strong too. Like he comes up like he's about to do something tough and just goes.
He goes all Canadian on him.
So soft spoken. I'm sorry. Just I'm like, oh, that was tight.
Who this?
There's definitely some cool stuff.
You should have walked up. And
canceled.
Is for the children. And then
it's only canon in the 838 universe.
Yeah.
Pick a number. None of it matters. even if it was canon, they can just uncanon it and power the writer. But before we go any farther, Ryan, do you want to talk on anything or save it for later? What do you want to do about that? Your call, man. No pressure.
Yeah, let's go ahead. You got the logo?
Yep. Boom.
Boom. Look at that. All right. So we got a new logo update. We're doing new things. So there's a link in the chat. You can check that out. Can you go to the cover?
Ow.
All right. So sign up. Go to that link. Sign up. Drop your email in there. This is a 22-page PDF that will get delivered to your email address. And it has 15 pages of story in it, 5, 10, and 15. And that's just the beginning because in 2 weeks, so on Memorial Day, is that the next holiday? Monday the 30th, I will start putting out brand new written content. And that is in the form of stories. I've already got quite a bit written out there. That's like all original. I also have a the Batman universe set fan fiction that is coming along really well. I'm pretty proud of what I'm doing there. So that'll be dropping there as well as it comes out. The beauty of this platform is it goes directly to your inbox. So you don't even have to like go to a website or anything. You're just going to wake up some days and you're going to have an email from me that has an awesome story for you to read before you get started with your day.
It's a personal Substack without subbing to the stack.
Yeah.
Straight stack.
Straight stack. Yeah.
Instead of
Texas
Substack,
Stack.
straight-
I can also
Texas
host.
Stack.
I can also host a podcast through there. So I'm gonna be doing conversations with creators and storytellers. I have a couple of really cool people lined up that some of them are return guests. Some are guests that I was chasing for a while, did not get. And then after I stopped making content, they started reaching out to me like, hey, I got some stuff. Are you still doing that? And I was like, no. So I've got them set up, and I have a couple of other people in mind I want to reach out to.
For those that don't know early Ryan was the indie creator GOAT. Like, he had any and everybody on. And even when people would see us on here and they would message my page, I would direct them to Ryan, which was definitely, he would get more than I would, but I would be like, Ryan is the guy. The reason, like, we had the Miranda brothers on this channel is because of Ryan. He got that role in the first time, and he actually coached me through how to actually have conversations with creators and stuff. Like, if you want to get, like, actually interested in hearing good conversations and not people like myself just fanboying on them, like this is awesome style conversation to really get into the creators' minds and hearts of what they're doing. So I'm excited for this for sure.
And then remember whenever I did like Shadow of the Bat, how I did like a video breakdown of that art. Yeah, so I'm on the beta list for Substack, so I'll be able to also put videos into these emails.
Nice.
So I'm going to be doing sort of like story autopsies and stuff like that, because that's what I really enjoyed doing with video the most, was really breaking down the stories and being able to show the images with it as well. There is one more image you have, which is the table of contents.
You're ready. Bow.
Yeah, so that's the 15 stories that are in this PDF ebook that I'll be sending, that goes out to you if you go ahead and sign up. So,
and I just did it. It literally took like 3 seconds. Like, I just clicked the link that you put in the chat, and it goes straight to just enter your email, and I just tapped that and hit OK, and I was done. It took 3 seconds.
Boom, that simple. And then I'm gonna send out another PDF with 15 more stories next week. And then the following week after that, you'll get the first original piece set in the Cosmic Campfire universe. And I'm pretty excited to put that out as well. Hefe asked about the JDF story, though. I do have something to say about that. So this weekend, you can drop the imagery as well.
You sure?
But
I feel like this show is really, really improved by having this here.
I disagree.
So at work, I mean, as you know, JDF, he's located in Houston. So at work, my boss, he had this guy come in yesterday. He's like a videographer. And so we're shooting videos and trying to build a YouTube following for the company I work for. But this guy, he does like all these like celebrity events and stuff here in Houston. So like all the like Comic Cons and all kinds of stuff, right? And so he's actually like been the videographer for JDF here in Houston for like 3 or 4 years now. He follows him around at like all the big shows and stuff, makes good money off of them too. But I'm like, hey man, like this is a connection worth having. So hopefully somehow I can get connected up with JDF from there and, be able to get to speak with him at some point.
That is awesome. What is up, Chaos and Comics? If you missed the beginning of that, Ryan is back making content, and he sounds like he's been making content, hiding, getting a lot done here in the past few weeks. He just dropped the link to where you can hit that link that's pinned in the chat, throw your email in there, and get on the ground floor of what he was just talking about with his book, with all these short stories that he's been working on, as well as upcoming content. It comes straight into your inbox. You don't have to do anything, go download anything. You just, like he said, wake up and you have a story to start your day. Dude, that's awesome. I'm excited.
It's true. They do arrive bright and early. I got to give him that. He's truthful. They do arrive bright and early in the morning.
Jamaican Defense Force? Yes. Very close.
Yes.
If you piss them off, they come at you in bobsleds.
Yes.
Bobsleds on wheels.
Yeah, what is up, Alan?
They soon come.
So y'all got nothing else you want to knock around and start on some comics? If y'all are down to clown on some comics. There's some good stuff this week. There's some trash this week too that I managed to pay money for.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Let's go.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm going to start with trash, and we'll just get through it. So we've got the Cosmic Ghost Boat versus the Haunted Toolbox.
Oh, Donnie Cates. Oh man.
Oh my God, this was the whatever the opposite of a read of the week is. That's what this was, and that's all I'm going to say about that. It was just bad.
The book might be worse than that nonstop Spider-Man, Spider Tarantula garbage that I ripped up a while ago. That's
Oh, no.
garbage.
But just to stick with Donnie Cates, I did pick up Crossover 13, and that was fantastic. Like,
Redeeming.
dude, it was, like it legitimately was. I absolutely love this second arc. I can't sing its praises enough. And dude, Donnie found a way to hit right in the feels in this issue. It's going to have different weight for different people, because one thing that I thought was amazing in this was he really pulled down the curtain a little bit more to his personal life, and he becomes very relatable in some very impactful aspects of his life. And kind of, I don't know, you kind of get to connect with the writer in this one. And I'm not like too on the end with Donnie Cates, like I read the Hulk stuff, I've read God Country, and you find out why he wrote God Country in this issue as well. But dude, this was awesome. This was absolutely awesome. I was thinking about like finishing the second arc and hopping off. Not a chance in hell. Like I'm all in on this book.
His use of Negan was terrific.
Yeah, he was the creator killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
And the fact that Negan was black and white through all his appearances was awesome. I don't have to say accurate; it was just awesome. But yeah, and you get to see what actually happens to Donnie Cates in this book too.
Oh, it's rough. Picked up 7 Secrets this week, second to last issue. Every single issue of this is fun. Every issue has like a big turn moment in it. Like, I don't know how Tom Taylor does it, but I'm going to be sad to see that one go. Mighty Morphin number 19, which still stands leaps and bounds better than Power Rangers. That was another good issue of that for those that care. The Sumerian, this is the Hour of the Dragon number 3. So this should be the final issue of this mini. So yes. Yes. Yes.
Chaos
All right,
Dude,
I got to show it now that Chaos pointed out.
What an ending. Yeah, I was going to go back and dive into these, but if you want to go and pull that one out, that'd be awesome. Dude, that was probably my read of the week. So Donnie Cates kind of like lets go of the ego and the power, and kind of gives the artist the credit over himself. And as he's laying there dying, he said, like, basically telling Ellie and Ryan, y'all know what y'all have to do. Y'all have to go. And then they turn the page. And the way that this whole second arc ends, you have to go kill Jeff Shaw, who's the artist on this book, who apparently is the big creator behind the whole mastermind behind all of this.
He's blaming the artist.
Oh, at least 4 issues of Sumerian. It's TBC at to be continued at the end. Normally they're 2 or 3, so that's exciting. This has been a fun one.
Did you gentlemen hear the news that Marvel has lost the rights to Conan again?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because I like Conan, but the only Conan I picked up is from Ablaze. But I was going to say, good news on that end, because they're stepping out and doing other Robert E. Howard properties, and this was off the wall. Like, I'm not even going to lie. This was like watching, what was it, Showtime Spartacus, that legit Spartacus show that came out. Mm-hmm. Remember how R-rated that was with the language and the sexual references? And like, this is Spartacus, bro. Like, this was, insane. But it was like just in your face. Like, but apparently Robert E. Howard had written a like some kind of like memoir or something about like female characters and stuff, and they're pulling those characters out of that into this story, kind of expanding their Robert E. Howard stock. So I'm in. Get some swashbuckling sword and sorcery.
That's right. Spartacus was on Stars, right?
Stars, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I just packed up 4 seasons of it today. Like Sands of Blood, Blood of Sands, or God of the Arena, Vengeance, something. I hated that the main actor died. It wasn't the same once season 3 hit.
Yeah.
It was still good stuff, though. Very great show. I feel disappointed by the uncensored billing for the Ablaze stuff, though. What do you mean? disappointed by it. So at the top of all the Conan stuff, for those who don't know, it says Robert E. Howard's Savage Hero Uncensored, which it is, which I don't think they're trying to like set any rating records. They're just playing it how it, like they give you the excerpt of the actual short story they're taking from, and it's very close. Very, very close to it. So they're just playing him savage. He's not watered down for comics code or anything, or running around with the Savage Avengers like he's Conan. Like he's drinking, he's getting it on with women, and he's savagely murdering things. It's what he does. I like the John Carter movie, but don't do his or Dage of Thor's books. Yeah, the books are nothing like Edgar Rice Burroughs' books whatsoever. His books are not. He is not Robert E. Howard. You know, he's not doing raunchy, over the top stuff or anything like that. Not one bit. What is going on, Tylocks? I was kind of crushed. The main character died for real. Yeah,
he's just a young guy too, right?
Yeah, he had cancer, I think.
Yeah, stage 4 cancer really quickly, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It's not that violent. There's not much nudity. It's similar to the Marvels. I don't know. It depends on the story. Again, it was up to what Robert E. Howard did. It's just some of them, like the one before this one, he literally ran around for 3 issues with a naked woman, like that he snatched up, and they were on the run, and she was naked for the whole thing. Go read The Frost Giant's Daughter. That might as well be a Skinamax. Like there's some, it depends on the nature of the story that they're telling and what's going on in it. This one right here is this one. I don't know if this is the first one you've jumped on, Chaos, but this one is just straight up like an army war going on between 2 different factions. It's really just more of the sorcery. They raised a god in order to overthrow Conan's rule, and they overthrow it and they keep him alive basically as a trophy for a minute to do whatever, and it goes south. He gets out pretty quick. But some of them are more than others. Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 11. Very good. I hope you got caught up on all these, Ryan.
I didn't get to 11, just 9 and 10, but feel free. Like it's too good. Like, I don't know, maybe if the MCU was better, they could spoil everything and still be good when you watch it.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about Superman. Like,
there's no way to spoil a moment. Like, I can tell you what happens, and it's still going to hit just.
Oh my god, so good!
Jurassic League. This was my hot pick of the week going in blind, and this ended up being up there. It's not my read of the week, but it's up there. It was. I had a blast reading it. And then the last one, I think this was this week, the last one on my pool was Suicide Squad Get Joker by Brian Azzarello. This was the finale to this long-awaited 3rd issue, finally dropped. It had been delayed for a couple of months for I don't know why. But we even got the Suicide Squad Blaze started and even got a 2nd issue out before this one went from 2 to 3. But, dude, this probably my 2nd place read of the week right here, right behind Crossover. Like, that was really damn good.
A lot of the Black Label stuff has been really good lately, outside of that Jock book. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't even pick up issue 2 for that.
No, neither did I.
Which is weird for me. Chris, you want to go through what you picked up?
Yeah. Well, you all saw that I picked up Crossover. Let me get my hands on these bad boys. Mark's pick was Jurassic League. I'm sure we'll get into that. My pick last week was actually Grimm number 1. I did get my hands on the beautiful Frizzen 1 in 25 foil variant.
What was that for Grimm?
Yeah, for Grimm.
Yeah, I got this. I forgot I had this 1 per store for that, but I'm just sending.
Oh, very nice. Becky Cloonan's Wonder Woman 787. There's a short story in the back. It's been The Adventures of Young Diana. Jordi Belair does it. It's actually been really good. I picked up Tynan's Nightmare Country issue number 2. I haven't gotten into it. Star Wars 3, The Halcyon Legacy. This is
can't even show without laughing.
This is so
Cosmic
bad.
Ghost Boat versus the
So
Haunted
bad. The character created by a Canadian that actually has nothing, that has no Canadian affiliation with it currently. It's Spawn 329. Todd McFarlane is away
He's still
from that
cashing
book.
them checks though.
He's still cashing the checks. And
Oh, yeah.
Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel, because, man, the artwork in Noctera
Noctera.
is just incredible. And I do want to talk about from Free Comic Book Day, Judgment Day. It's, I guess, a Marvel crossover that's coming up for this summer featuring the Avengers, X-Men, and the Eternals. I thought it was interesting that the beginning of this book has the planet Earth actually acting as a character itself, talking about, things that have happened on the planet. And there is a quick moment where we see Odin and the original Avengers, the 1 million year ago Avengers, and basically where the Eternals that have been here. You're watching the wrong show, my man. You're watching the wrong show.
Mute it for 3 minutes. Chaos will be all right.
Basically, the Eternals are wiping out the deviants as the planet is starting to mature, and every time there's some sort of mutation that's happening with some sort of animal, the Eternals then step up and wipe that all out because they consider it a deviation. So there seems to be like a monkey that starts to develop some telekinesis or something, and then the Eternals show up and they're about to wipe it out, and then Odin steps in and says, no, I actually like this, and says it jokingly, but then kind of gets talked out of it and then gets wiped out. Well, fast forward to today. Obviously, the Marvel Universe, one of the backbones of the Marvel Universe is the X-Men. And, the X-Men now have been tagged.
The next comment.
Thank God the platypus. Yeah.
They let that deviation survive.
What's up with that? Or the armadillo. What is that thing? Anyways,
the state animal of Texas. Come on, man.
What is it though? Is it
a cannon? A living cannonball?
A canine? Anyways, the Eternals, for whatever reason, have now deemed mutants, all the mutants, deviants, and the Avengers are there to protect the planet. The Eternals are there to wipe out deviants, and the mutants are there, obviously, to stand up for themselves. I actually kind of like the only reason I'm going to talk about this free book, it's only 8 or 9 pages worth of story, is that the King of Black started off well, and I think all three of us would agree it started off well, and then it kind of belly flopped. And
Noel's entrance was cool. That's all. Yeah. That's all it gets from me is Noel's entrance. He came in riding Celestials. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be tough.
Goodbye, Marvel Superman.
I wasn't with it.
Awesome on a half shell.
I wasn't down with Bob getting ripped in half.
I'm quietly kind of looking forward to this now. I like the idea that the Eternals are going to step up and call the mutants deviants, and the Avengers are going to kind of stand in the way. Like, you can't do this. So we'll see the Avengers and X-Men step up.
Key. That is like the Marvel key from Free Comic Book Day. That was the first appearance of Bloodline, Blade's daughter. What was she like? Because I haven't read it. I got the book just because of that. I got my first Blade.
So
I might as well have his daughter.
That's a secondary story that's in here. I believe it's only 4 pages, Mark. Yeah, it's literally 4 pages. She just looks like she's outside of in a street line, and she just kind of does her own thing, and then it's literally 4 pages of action, and then there's a picture of literally a picture of her and her old man. So yeah,
I like how Chaos assumes that everyone on here only reads DC.
No. Negative.
The majority of Chris's pool is probably Marvel
or indie. I do read a lot of DC. That's not fair.
Yeah, he doesn't show off his whole pool typically. If you want to see everything, you got to watch on Wednesdays on his channel. Sounds like the Eternals are attempting genocide. Why is it that they're just now considering the mutants deviants? Or the monkey matter?
I'm not sure. Probably because now Kieran Gillen is at the helm instead of Hickman. So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's jump into one that I know we all kind of peeked at as well with Jurassic League.
Sure.
So I don't know why, but I had to grab this V cover. I'll probably end up throwing it into a Legion loot box for the channel member giveaway. But I like the Daniel Warren Johnson A cover. And for those that don't know, they're using Daniel Warren Johnson to really sell this book. It was Juan Gideon's creative idea. Ryan, you want to talk on that and get it kicked off?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, Juan Gideon is, I don't know what else he's worked on, to be honest, but, you know, he's got a wild idea and he's a little bit of an unproven talent. And Daniel Warren Johnson, he's working on his Powerbomb first, like, 100% creator-owned series. So that's taking up most of his time. So DC was like, hey, you know, do you want to, like, kind of, like, pick up some small-time work, kind of editing and helping this guy like really make sure this story like stays on the rails. And so it's mostly just all Juan Gideon with a lot of consultation effort from Daniel Warren Johnson. And it's good, but you know, it shows that it's not a pure Daniel Warren Johnson project.
Yeah, so he's just, like you said, helping with the writing aspect. The art on the interiors is Juan Gideon. It was actually really good. We do have Spicer on the colors, who works with Daniel Warren Johnson regularly. So when you look at it, it feels on brand. It's definitely not Daniel Warren Johnson's interiors, but there's a lot of panels that are very.
It has a flavor. And
it does have a flavor.
Did you guys notice that the first splash page is obviously the Batman character, that it kind of has, I thought, a quiet homage to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight, especially with how.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that quiet, but yeah.
I thought it was quiet. Well,
me into a pillow.
So the whole concept behind the book is like a very familiar one. You know, the last Brontosaurus of Krypton lands on Earth and is raised by cave people. So you don't know the story, but it was pretty cool. Like, I thought they did a really good job with the first issue. I think Chaos put it up in the comments earlier that it's like it's going to pan out in the long run better than it will in just the first intro. This was definitely an introduction issue. We kind of focused on the DC Trinity, and we kind of got a few pages for each one of them, getting an idea of what their life's like in this Jurassic world that they're in. But we also got a cool little thing with Wonder Woman's character when she kind of had like a vision of other characters, the rest of the Justice League. So from just the images that I saw, I only saw like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman characters, and then getting that little teaser page. I'm like, okay, they're doing the full Justice League, so that's even better. Yeah, we got Aquaman in this issue, and then one little teaser page with, I think they had Green Lantern, Flash. I don't remember if there's any other characters other than Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash with them.
In her vision, she sees the Justice League. It's Flash, Batman, Superman, the Green Lantern, and Aquaman. I'll see if I can get zoom. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
But she's not there.
But no, herself, she is not there.
I guess because she's the one looking at him.
Could be.
Yeah.
But like, if it's a vision of the future, don't you think she would see the full lineup?
Yeah, but there is a lot of like pretty good action in this. Aquaman taking on Black Manta.
Yeah, that was really cool. His little intro. There's a bunch of people out fishing with nets, and Black Manta pops out of the ocean, casts nets on the people. I'm like, oh. Yeah, the action was dynamic.
Black Mantosaurus.
There's some clunky panel work in it though in the action scenes, and
I really miss like the scratchy, darker shading that Daniel Warren Johnson does that gives it like that gritty texture. I feel like character model wise, they're relatively close to what Daniel Warren Johnson would have done, but as far as like texture on the page, it's lacking quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit more cleaner.
Yeah. Honestly, it especially stands out to me in the Aquaman Black Manta scene. Like, it kind of looks like a Nickelodeon cartoon, maybe a little more aged up and gritty, but you know, like especially Aquaman, for some reason, he just really stands out like Mermaid Man or whatever from SpongeBob. Like, as soon as he popped up, I was like, is that Mermaid Man? Like,
that they literally used Aquaman's costume for Mermaid Man, minus
the
seashell
with the clam shell or whatever.
The clam shell right there.
For me, like, I really liked the Batman part. I thought that was really cool. Him and the little boy, I think he's going to get like a little kid, like a human Robin, which will be an interesting team up. That I could see going kind of in the direction of Gandhi Tartakovsky's Primal, but like a reverse relationship. Like that would be really cool to see. And then I really like the Wonder Woman stuff because it was kind of deep lore-ish, but it also like projected that there's more to this series than just like dinosaurs running around like being brutal or whatever, you know? So I really liked her scene because it gave some actual weight to the book versus like everything else that was kind of like lighthearted and stuff.
Yeah, they spoke about Ares. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like writing wise, I felt like there was just like a little too much like telling and not showing. Like I could see where the Superman comment was appropriate, but at the same time, like I would rather just see him like not fight somebody, you know, like try to do the right thing and really have the spirit of Superman. Like, okay, like this is still Superman, but to have to say like, you know, I don't like to fight and stuff, it just feels a little like ham-fisted in there. And then, you know, also some of the stuff with like Aquaman and Black Manta, like whenever Black Manta throws his spear and it bounces off of Aquaman, and then Aquaman's like, oh yeah, your spear didn't even penetrate my scales or whatever, you know. I'm like, you shouldn't have had to say that, you know, like we should have understood from the panel work. So it's kind of lacking in some places, of course, but at the same time, like I really enjoyed the Batman stuff, and I enjoyed that they gave us the stuff with Wonder Woman, so we got the lore, and all in all, I thought it was a fun read.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I want them to be able to space the characters out a little bit. It's only like a 6-issue series, so I'm assuming it's going to have to go pretty fast paced. I mean, that's typically how like these team books go with these limited runs and stuff. You have so many characters, it just has to move. So I'm wondering how that's going to play differently, because typically with the stuff that I'm familiar with Daniel Warren Johnson, you know, like the Beta Ray Bill story was focused on Beta Ray Bill with a couple of side characters attached to him specifically. Same thing with Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, Murder Falcon, stuff like that. So like Murder Falcon, it kind of built as it went, as they like started collecting the band and everything, but it's still focused around our central character. So I'm going to wonder if they're going to do that with this, like kind of, but I don't know. I'm not seeing any focus on a central character yet. They leaned heavy into each character's what's going on with them. So I don't know what necessarily is meant to have weight that's going to carry forward yet or not. And we haven't gotten introduced to Darkseid, the version of Darkseid from this, which we know is coming from the solicitation. They did give us Giganta and someone else at the end. I forgot who the other character was. Bizarro, that's right.
Yeah, I see it like Wonder Woman will basically be the person that gathers them all collectively together, take on
Unite the 6 or 7 or whatever the original campaign was.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Whatever it's going to be. I thought at moments it was over the top on being over the top. Maybe I didn't enjoy it as much as you two did. I thought it was just okay. At some points, I just couldn't get past the campiness of it. I agree. I really liked the Wonder Woman aspect of it, but I actually, in fact, I enjoyed the communication between Superman and Superman's parents and him, and he basically didn't say much, and it kind of had a little bit of that Red Sun flavor to me. Like I'm looking at it like this is Superman, but it's not the Superman I know. So I kind of, just for a couple panels, it kind of brought me back to the whole idea of Red Sun. But yeah, I'll pick up issue number 2 for sure. I don't think it was necessary that they had to bring in 2 big bads to take on Superman and the version of Metropolis that's here, but they did. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I'm figuring Wonder Woman will show up at this point.
You need Bizarro to actually keep Superman busy while Gigantic gives him a reason to leave his home and go fight for something. You know,
right?
So I bet Gigantic thrashes that village and probably going to lose his.
Yeah, he'll lose his dad. Yeah, he'll lose his dad for sure in this one. But I like the fact that they spoke about hope. At least they kept the Superman mythos there, and yeah, it was just okay for me. We'll see where it goes.
Next up, what else did y'all read? Because I do want to talk about stuff that we all read, if possible.
Did you guys read Grimm?
I did not. The copy that I got, I picked up for Nick, so I did.
Okay.
It's a 1 per store. No. I don't know. I think he's.
I've heard a couple like spoiler-full reviews about it though, so feel free to talk about it.
I know that Jeff was asking earlier in the comments what it was about, and I don't have a clue.
Okay, so Grimm is a Stephanie Phillips Boom Studios story. Basically, it starts off where we have a young man who went to a bar to try and get an ex-girlfriend back, whatever, and it didn't work out for him. And he ends up drinking and driving and gets into an accident and flies out of the car and dies. But it's that, typical movie stuff where he gets up and he's walking around. He's like, how did I end up here? Like I was in my car a second ago or whatever. And he feels a little, disorientated. And that's where he runs into the Reaper that's to take his soul over the river Styx. And he goes through the steps of, I can't be dead. And then sees his own body and realizes that he in fact has died, but then quickly goes through the stages of, I guess, realizing the stages of death and tries to run away. But every direction he runs, it always ends up at the same thing. He ends up at a dock where the Reaper that is basically soliciting him to go over the river Styx. She's the one that has to take him. And that's where you get to find out her name is Jessica Harrow. And at that point, this young man gets into the boat and they're crossing the river Styx, blah, blah, blah. And he then starts to see the horrors of the river Styx, that there's souls that are, that are negative souls, that this is their own hell. This is their torment. And they try reaching into the boat and everything. And he goes through the whole idea of freaking out. And he says, I just have questions. And she's like, no. And he says, well, and she says, I just need you to shut up. And he says, well, answer me one question. How did you die? And she says, basically, I don't know. And I don't want to answer any questions. And he just says, I just want one question. And she reiterates, I've answered your question. Anyways, they end up getting to like a waiting room, like a way station. And it's kind of that, it kind of has that Beetlejuice idea where everyone gets a number. And until your number's called, you have to wait. And look at it, they draw it like there's thousands of people that are in turn waiting. And she decides that it's the end of her shift. So she walks away from this way station that kind of is beautiful, not quite heaven-like, but it's definitely not hell. So she ends up going into this like lunchroom or lunch area for other Reapers. And there's different Reapers from different points of time. There's one guy that she communicates. It kind of looks like, not quite like that, but kind of looks like Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols. And then there's another guy from this punk rocker makes fun of. He's like, you're from the 1600s. And he says, actually, I was born in 1867. And it kind of goes from there. And then she realizes, Jessica Harlow, that the Reaper that's the centralized figure in this story is that she had her scythe stolen from her. Yes, her scythe stolen by this guy that she had just brought, and he ends up using her scythe, to go back to New York to go and see his ex-girlfriend, only to find out his ex-girlfriend is in a living room with another guy. And she then asked those two other Reapers that I spoke about, this punk rocker and this African American from 1867, to it wasn't lost on me either, and to help her because she doesn't have her scythe, and they basically come across this young man, and he realizes what he did wrong, and again then tries to run away. But she is super angry and she chases after him. And the two people that are there, or probably the two other Reapers that were there to help her, she turns back and screams at them to help. And as she turns and screams, her face is turned into a skull, like everyone's picture of what the Grim Reaper would look like. From that point, she actually jumps on top of the guy that stole her scythe, and she draws back to hit him, only to have someone grab her arm. And the person that grabs her arm is actually a policeman from New York. And the policeman says, you're not going to be doing that. And then she looks at him and says, you can see me. So this part is the interesting part where we get to find out that Reapers are not supposed to be crossing over from the land of the dead to the land of the living, and that the people that are in the land of living cannot see the Reapers. And that's the part where it kind of ends for her story, at least for this issue, is that she is somehow, by getting as angry as what she did, has made herself visible to people in the living, and so much so that the police officer seems to address her like she has some sort of mental illness because the person she's trying to hit isn't there. And the story ends where another Reaper is speaking to someone that kind of looks like a supervisor. It actually looks like the person speaking to the supervisor is William Shakespeare, and says to the supervisor, Jessica Harlow has been detected by the living, and the supervisor is not really caring because she's more interested in saying that, what's interesting about a rose, you can give it water and soil and raise it, but in the end, as beautiful as what a rose is, in the end, it always rots. So yeah, I thought it was an interesting story. I'm liking where it's going, but the aspect of her, Jessica, being now visible to the land of the living is something I didn't see coming. I thought it was just going to be her struggles as being a Reaper, not knowing how or when she passed away, and the fact that the true Grim Reaper apparently is missing. So I give it like 4 Maple Leafs out of 5.
That's not a bad rating there.
Yeah.
It sounded like a lot.
Yeah. I've heard a couple of reviews on podcasts, and like all of them have been very positive on it. So sounds like a really cool story.
I say this
Definitely have
more
to
often
check
than
it
I
out.
actually do it, but I might try to catch up on it digital. I still have to start DC versus
It's all in one
Vampire
issue.
Keepers. Dude, don't rush me. Speaking of something, dude, I forgot to mention it. The final round of DC's round robin voting is in. And not just that, they did exactly what we wanted them to do from the get-go. They did the first round blind, and then they gave us like the synopsis and everything. But then they started giving us the creative teams along the way. Now with this one, they give you the first 10 issues of each book. The first 10 issues of each book is available, and they even do some teasing. The Suicide Squad
10
Dark
issues
one,
or 10 pages?
I'm sorry, first 10 pages. I apologize.
Oh, I was about to
Okay,
say, like, how long are these going to
they're
be?
shooting
Yeah.
themselves in their
So
foot
they-
financially.
So we get like
10
10
out of 6
pages.
issues up front, man.
Not bad at all. But they do some cool stuff like Matter Eater Lad jumps on a Swamp Thing from a different multiverse, and Swamp Thing puts his arm out, and Matter Eater Lad just devouring me, just grabs him and just rips his skin off his bones, but they silhouette the image. And it says in the editor's note at the bottom, to see this book and to see this panel in its full glory and how graphic it is, vote for me. I'm like, oh, voting. I'm voting. Yeah. So it's Superboy Man of Tomorrow, focusing on Connor Kent or Suicide Squad Dark. And at the time of me voting, Superboy was crushing it.
What?
Which just blows my mind.
What?
Yeah, whenever I voted, like the first day it was open, and he was like way up. Like,
Yeah, it was like 67%.
yeah, I think I saw it like 65% or something. Yeah.
What?
But if anything we've learned through this process,
Content.
like the night before the voting closed for the semifinals, like the book that we were paying attention to was down in the 30%. It pulled out and won somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Constantine, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Constantine and the Demon, man.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, this is a split one because, yeah, everybody seems to be on the Superboy train, but I did vote Suicide Squad Dark. So
Woo woo.
See, I'm like I mentioned before, I don't feel like I could lose either way, but I really would rather.
voting is closed
It's closed now?
for round 3. That's what we're on, right?
No, we're on the final.
Oh no, we're on round 4.
Yeah, you got to scroll down to the bottom for some reason. They have it up here in reverse order.
Taylor, to answer your question, that would be 4 red, white, and blue stars out of 5.
Nah, man, we're not rationing down here. We go all the way up to 10.
Yeah.
No, those.
Yeah,
We can
haven't
afford to
looked at
have
the-
all 10.
I haven't looked at the preview pages yet, Hefe, but he does have the leather jacket on. But he's like, since the last time we've seen Connor was like the Suicide Squad annual release, probably about 5 months ago or so. And I don't think he really has the attitude anymore like he did in the 90s, but they put the jacket back on him just to make it easier to tell them apart. But they're really not doing much at all with him at anything. I mean, I can probably pull this up.
And give the character to Amanda Waller. She'll fix him up.
I just want to slap you right now. Log in. What a horrible, horrible character Amanda Waller is.
She's so good.
She's the worst.
She's even better in Dark Side. Come on. She's so good. So good.
Let's see if I can find this.
What are you looking for?
I'm only DC Universe into that.
While he's looking at it, I wasn't available for when this book came out to talk about it for At Week's End, and I think it's just okay. I didn't think it was amazing, but then again, I'm not a Tombstone fan, so I'll go from there.
I was at Pop's house when I was looking at this. I showed when I first pulled it up. I showed him. I'm sorry, Chris. What did you think of the Spider-Man series? God, this stuff is so hard to find.
I thought the first one, like I said, I thought it was just okay. I'm not a fan of Tombstone, so I know that the first arc is going to have Tombstone as the main villain. I was kind of hoping that the Queen Goblin may be tied into it. Maybe she will be, because there was a glider that was kind of being sold, between two villainous groups. And then, Spider-Man showed up to break that up or whatever. So we'll see. I thought it was, like I said, okay. It's off to a good start, but I hope it gets better. I don't like Peter and MJ being broken up.
So right now we're looking at 72% on Superboy versus 28 on
Jesus.
Squad
Come on,
Dark.
people.
Yeah, I don't know if people know who Zach Thompson is. I guess because otherwise they'd be voting the right way. Crushing
He
it.
popped his collar.
I just can't
like
imagine how.
Like, come on.
I just can't imagine how a Superboy story would be pulling numbers like that against, like something with Batman on it, with all these villains, just all these characters in general.
Yeah. So, if you can go back to that grid, what ended up beating Constantine and the Demon? Was it Superboy?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad
Okay.
Dark.
Because they made us vote between the two.
All right.
This is what you wanted to see, right?
Yeah, I have it. I was pulling the same thing up.
Oh.
Hey, you're good. Yeah, look at that interiors. It looks really good. In the very next page, there it is. There it is. Matter Eater Lad chomps on his hand. Go back.
Right
He
here.
rips his skin right off the skeleton. And read that. Can you read that text bubble in the bottom?
Down here. Oh, good lord.
You see, that's
Matter
my
Eater
Swamp
Lad
Thing.
Skin. Matter Eater Lad's skin being pulled from the skeleton is food. Man, it's kind
Wow.
of small.
But it says if you want to see that panel in its full illustration, that you have to. It has to win the vote.
Matter Eater Lad's skin being pulled from his skeleton is too gross to show off online. Vote for Suicide Squad Dark if you want to see his demise in all its glory. Editorial.
That's my Swamp Thing right there.
That's how you do it. I think they call him Swamp Man in that universe or something.
Yeah.
But it's some cool stuff. I didn't see the interiors for Superboy. I got that far and I got excited. I'm like, I need to wait till I get home to the tablet.
Hey, I'm Spore. I'm new too.
Yeah, we got introduced to Spore back in
An Avatar of the Gray.
Infinite Frontier. There's Waller, Frankenstein.
It's a very odd perspective shot of her. What is that thing?
Probably what latches on them to control them for the team.
Looks like the belly button eater thing from The Matrix.
Yeah, those
Here's your
interiors are
Superboy.
good too. I like how he's catching the green car. That was an homage to Action 1. So we got Kara, Jonathan, and Connor.
Yeah. So is this in continuity? Do you know?
That's what I was just wondering if I'm not seeing Kal-El yet. Helix, Chemo. Dude, he looks really young right there.
Mm-hmm. The reptilians.
Only an hour and a half left to vote.
Better get on it. Boom. That's a cool final shot. Is that the Ginyu Force?
I have no clue what I'm looking at.
The House of L's got no reputation out here. The name's Superboy. These people are under my protection. Please tell me you have a problem with it. It's time to make one.
I kind of think the artwork looks better for Superboy, but again, the Suicide Squad Dark is, to me, a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, I like the Suicide Squad Dark art better. This is a little like clean and anime-ish looking.
Look at that bottom panel. Go back to that last one and look at that bottom panel.
Right here.
Yeah. Very anime-ish.
Stay behind me. I've got a feeling we're not going to talk this out. Yeah, that's definitely a solar flare. Oh, that one right there too. Like that's so Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Maya. Chaos said he voted for the Super Pets Orgy book.
Oh man.
Okay. All right.
Well, he's definitely a furry.
What is going on, Wheelchair Superhero 87?
Cool.
What's up, Kyle?
Why do you think?
Yeah, I stand by my vote.
Yeah. Hashtag squad goals. We all got anything else y'all want to touch on tonight? There are some other books that came out, but I mean,
Man, I tell you, did y'all read Blood Syndicate?
I did not.
No.
What?
I'm miles behind on the milestone stuff.
So, like, you know, obviously I'm very familiar with Static because of Static Shock, you know. Love that series. And then, you know, I had a vague familiarity with Icon and Rocket, and Hardware I had heard of. But, like, I knew nothing about Blood Syndicate. I literally went into this just knowing the little teaser at the beginning of the Static series, you know, with Holocaust. So, like, I went into Blood Syndicate. I did not know what I was getting into, right? And, like, this first book does such a good job of setting up, like, a sprawling story. Like, there's so many, like, different avenues and plot lines and everything being set up in that first issue. And it's all done really well. Like, very strong characters. A lot of like backstory and like history between them all. So like you're getting right now, but you also know there's a lot to learn about where they came from and where they're headed, you know. And then like they're kind of getting the tour of Dakota because they just came back from the Middle East, you know, in war and stuff. And, you know, so they're kind of like showing off like, oh, yeah, this person, you know, like people have powers now. Like this thing happened and now people have powers. And then basically, like, there's like a drive-by, right? Da-da-da-da-da. They come up and they're like shooting and stuff. And
Oh, wait, what happens in the drive-by?
What happened?
What happens in the drive-by?
Drive-by, they come out like da-da-da-da-da. They're like shooting up the place, you know. And so like homeboy from the military from the Middle East, like he catches on, like you know, these guys like got powers, right? And so then the people that he came back to and he's like hanging out with that are giving him the tour, like they have powers, right? But and you know, like there's something up with the military guys that were in the Middle East. Like you can tell there's something, you know, that they're not really telling everybody. This dude like straight synthesizes a rocket launcher just like onto his shoulders and like blows up this car's like dude, the way it went down, I was like, man, this
I gotta buy this book.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, man.
I know when I held a rocket launcher, that's exactly how it sounded when I
it's
put
kind of
it
like
there. Exactly what it sounded like.
Remember how we didn't really care for that like incredibly digital artwork in the Static series
Mm-hmm.
and like in the Milestone Returns book? Well, this one has a less intense digital artwork aspect
The
to it.
Icon one is a lot more toned down too.
Yeah, but it's so cool because like what I'm getting is this guy can synthesize like military grade weapons, and the way that it pops up, it's like like little hexagons and like synthesizes like Matrix style or something, like it's pretty cool. And then he just like is in action like in a moment. So yeah, I enjoyed Blood Syndicate. I thought it was cool. They set up like this 3-4 way kind of like gang war thing going on. They're teasing Holocaust coming back, and he's going to take over and stuff. You got people coming back from the military. They're ready to defend their neighborhood. So it was a really good issue. Like it sets up a lot, and I don't know how many issues it's scheduled for. Probably 6, like the others. But I'm excited, man. Like I'm pretty hype, and
You're like, oh,
Icon and Rocket's been phenomenal. Hardware was really good, but I would say Blood Syndicate off that first issue definitely hits like right in between those two for me. Static was honestly the worst of what Milestone did, and that's a shame because that's the title character that probably drew the most people in.
Well, yeah, he's the franchise, right?
Yeah, like who? I think it's Vita Ayala wrote that, and just like does not know who Static is apparently because
I think
that.
Vita gets a lot of flack across the board. Like I hear nothing but negative stuff about that writer. And I don't think I've ever read a single book of hers other than Static.
Yeah, I think that's the only one I have any experience with. But yeah, it was not even Virgil. Like, it was like, who is this person? So yeah, that one was weird. But like Icon and Rocket, phenomenal stuff. I really like that one. Blood Syndicate, that first issue was the bomb. And then Hardware is really cool, but it's like guerrilla Tony Stark kind of thing. And I like Blood Syndicate too because it feels like it's really building out Dakota. Like there's a lot of stuff in Icon and Rocket that make it feel like there's a whole city there and stuff, but this is like on the ground level, like like how Daredevil kind of like breathes, Hell's Kitchen and New York City. Like you really get the vibe for it. Spider-Man does it as well, but this Blood Syndicate is kind of like that. It feels like it's really giving life to the city and people beyond just the heroes in the universe. Wait.
Oh, I missed the Ryan sound effects. It's what completes the tripod.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is what Vita wrote.
Probably. Especially in the second one.
Oh,
It had the best Spider-Man scene ever, though.
Yeah, but it also had a different Peter Parker in every scene.
Yeah.
so Vita did okay on Trial if the Amazon / Nubia, but with a co-writer.
Well, yeah, Trial
I think
of the
there's
Amazon.
a lot of writers on that whole Trial of the Amazons.
Yeah, we had like written by what is it? Written by committee sort of thing.
Yeah, because Nubia was like what a 6-issue mini that embarked on a 6-issue mini, but then just merged into that event that crossed with the other titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was like the only like I almost picked it up just because like I wanted to read the event to see what was what. I went Tuesday and I didn't get it. Then I went back Friday and to get my other books, and I asked if they had any more, and they didn't. I'm like, okay, well, if I hear a lot of good stuff about it, I'll go check it out. But
yeah, I think Taylor was right there. Children of the Atom was, because that came out with so much hype, trying to sell it, and man, rough to get through. So
how does Vita continue to get work? Like, is there a demographic out there that is very does Vita's writing appeal to a certain demographic somewhere?
I don't know. Maybe just her.
Like, I think everybody here is like over 30, right? So clearly not for us. I wonder if like 20-year-olds are like, oh man, like this is the comic book stuff I'm looking for.
Well, Trial of the Amazons was not that well done that well, in my opinion.
It's because she's non-binary. What is does that mean she's a bad writer?
No, that's how she identifies as a human being.
Well, I understand that, but what does that
Yeah, I
have to do with the
understand what.
writing?
Oh, okay.
But I mean, how does it pertain? Yeah, demographic is horrible taste. I think people like K-pop. Never gotten into K-pop. I'm behind on that. Children of the Atom fell off the map, but the story about the cosplayer getting mutant powers was great. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with any of Vita's work other than that first 2 issues of Static, and that literally started Static off so rough that like I didn't jump on board immediately with the other stuff. I just now started catching up on Icon, and I'm behind on hardware as well. So I'm just falling behind on a lot of it.
That's how I understand it works, Pop.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
I don't know. Vita is non-binary.
Oh,
writer.
that's how.
We're using
Okay.
her for that demo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Virtue signaling.
They're using the writer as a set.
Virtue signaling. I didn't get that reading Static though. Like I didn't see anything coming through the pages of Static that were like
No, neither did I.
of the non.
Not the way Tynan pushes stuff through his characters. I didn't get that. Tynan pushes that through, but I didn't get that from her. I just don't like her
but I
writing.
could see like where
credit that shows you that like because you hear a lot like people crying like woke ruins this, woke ruins that. Woke has never ruined anything. Bad writing ruins stuff because the most woke book on the planet right now is Nice House on the Lake. No questions about it. One of the best mystery books on the planet right now is Nice House on the Lake across the board. Everyone who's reading it's like, dude, this is good. There's been one meh issue out of the whole thing. But everyone in that entire house falls under LGBTQ, but it's
what did he put?
Blowing the cab driver.
Must have been an issue 3.
Yeah, I was on the second issue.
Yeah.
I got cussed out about her on IG one day. Damn. Not that I'm reading. I read a lot.
Maybe House of Slaughter.
I don't read a little bit. I read a lot, and that's definitely the one that I mean, like he won. I think Tynan's won like numerous GLAAD awards, or at least been nominated for him because of his work and pushing the needle with the LGBT community and the inclusion of them in the books. So the first episode of Moon Knight, and it was exactly. You just keep watching. You'll put an M in front of that EH. Man,
Kyle, you got better things to do with your time, man.
Oof. Sorry, that was fan fiction again. Good God.
Oh,
Because I called her a black woman. How dare you?
Right? Yeah, so Static was out, but the rest of Milestone's actually been really good, especially Icon and Rocket and Blood Syndicate.
Yeah, when I read that first issue, I was pumped. I was sending y'all screenshots, and as I'm reading, like, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they don't identify as a she, so I guess why you're cussed out. Well, that's a whole conversation about self-identity and how much is somebody else supposed to participate in someone's identity of self, Taylor. And if you're a black woman that chooses to identify as they, how is somebody who's just looking at, like I looked her up on Google to see her body of work. There's nothing about anything on there when you look her up on Google that says anything other than this is a black female and an impressive resume of work unless you read it and you're not into it. So, there's no reason in hell that anyone would assume otherwise unless they're told otherwise. So there's really no reason to talk down to, belittle someone, or cuss somebody out on the internet because they live in reality. Look at you don't have to do a investigative deep dive on somebody just to have a conversation about them. So
yeah, I do agree. Chaos. I wish there was connectivity between Milestone and DC instead of it's like the what is it, separate but equal sort of thing. Like it kind of creates like this situation where it's like, why do we even need to have it separate? Like they could just be like awesome superheroes in the DC universe with all these other characters, and it would probably also grant a little legitimacy to turning them into movies and stuff like
They
that.
did merge them in the New 52 era. I thought they brought Dakota into the main universe, and
Yeah, that's what I had heard. I haven't read that, but yeah, that's what I had heard. But then they
I watched a
undid that.
documentary on the Milestone thing when Robert Kirkman did that amazing multi-documentary thing that he did. I mean, it was amazing. There was a whole episode on Milestone, and they talked about like how like they liked having their world where they can build and like create on the ground level, in that era when they got brought in, it really wasn't done in a way that really did the characters much justice. It was really static alone that really got brought in. But characters like Icon have made it into Young Justice. Like Icon's a character in Young Justice. He's not forefronted. I think it was like season 2 or 3 that you see him more often in the Watchtower and all that good stuff. But yeah, so you see him here and there, but I don't know. There's probably pros and cons for doing it either way. There's a huge list of characters in the main DC universe that aren't getting used, and with them being in their own universe, you have you have just these characters are getting plenty of playtime.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, especially with Blood Syndicate, it feels like we're getting a lot more of like we're getting more of like Dakota, and like it's really building like this city and this universe that's like easily accessible to somebody that's like kind of turned off to like how big comics is and how much you feel like you need to know to get into them, but it like you said, it's kind of like both ways, like there's good reasons that they're separate, and there's also like good reasons that they should be part of just the regular DC. So I don't know what the right answer is. I'm enjoying it for what it is right now, but I would like to see more crossover opportunities down the road once they establish this universe a little bit stronger.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get like at least events or something.
Right. I mean, if Marvel can do like the Eternals and the Avengers versus the X-Men, then like why can't we do Milestone versus DC or something?
Does anybody know if Naomi was from Dakota or something, like in a different multiverse? I could have sworn like her name is Naomi Dakota. Or there's something with Dakota that's like an homage to the Milestone stuff or something. I thought.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
My only real experience with her was in the most recent Justice League run. I didn't read the 6-issue miniseries they did, and I tried to watch the show. I was excited for it because it's a new character that I'm unfamiliar with, and getting and it was just horrible. It was unwatchable. They didn't. I don't know. It was like watching community theater. It was bad.
Yeah.
Did you see?
It's canceled.
There it is. There was the crossover.
Yeah, it's collided. Did you see?
DC.
Is it David F. Walker that co-created Naomi? And then he had like posted this week. He was on Comic Book Club Live like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So David F. Walker was on Comic Book Club Live a couple weeks ago, and they asked him about Naomi as far as the show and stuff, and he's like, very angry about how they've basically completely cut him out of anything that has to do with anything with that character. And then he had posted this week whenever they made the announcements of like everything they canceled on CW or whatever, and they canceled Naomi. And he's like, he posted like the Entertainment Weekly or whatever. And he's like, thanks for letting me know, Entertainment Weekly. Like, as the creator, they don't even like take the time to let you know that the show based on your character has been canceled. You find out just like everybody else from a tabloid. That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's rough.
Yeah, it's impressive in all the wrong ways.
Well, maybe one day I'll get back to watching it. I heard that Brutus, one of the big bads from Naomi stuff, was actually voiced by the same voice actor that did Darkseid in the HBO Zack Snyder's Justice League, Ray Porter.
Oh, okay.
They got the same voice actor. I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, that I might just go watch like maybe there's a cool big fight scene or something, and you can just catch clips of it on YouTube or something. I don't know, but I'm about Freddy Tai. About ready to wrap it up and get in bed. I'm worn out.
Yeah.
if it's not TMZ, it's not true. Right. But
That's true.
I appreciate everybody hopping in tonight. Tomorrow, there's not a cool big fight scene. Oh man. I hope they didn't try to like end the season with like a cliffhanger, thinking they had a season 2 to follow up with. That would have been rough. I heard season
Like-
wrapped up okay.
And what
There's a lot of
Superman is in it?
qualities in there, though. He didn't say that there wasn't a fight scene. He said there wasn't a cool, big fight
That's the
scene.
part that matters, though.
It could have been a big fight scene. It could have been a cool scene. It could have been
There
one
you
of
go.
many of those things.
There's a cliffhanger and it's boring. I don't know if Black Lightning is still ongoing. I know that like he was making appearance in Arrowverse crossover stuff. At this point, the only thing that I'm for sure is still on is Superman and Lois and Stargirl. And out of all the shows, out of all the DC shows on HBO, on CW, wherever you find them, the only one that I actually will be upset if it gets canceled is Stargirl. I would like to see all of them, but I mean, they're canceling stuff to do other stuff. It's not like they're canceling it to vanish off the face of television. I need no less than one more season of Stargirl. They've teased Obsidian, they teased Dr. Bones, they set us up for season 3. So if you're going to end it, please let them know you're going to end it before they're done filming the season, so that they can like put a little bow on it and not give you a cliffhanger that's boring and nothing coming more. Because as much as I dislike Naomi, there's some people out there that liked it. I know Carolina Chris, who's one of my buddies here on YouTube and stuff. He does watch parties and stuff all the time, and he watched Naomi and he enjoyed it plenty fine. So for people like him, I mean, that sucks, man. People that took the time to like watch a show and hang out with a community and talk about it, the good and bad either way. But you're left holding the bag. That kind of stuff sucks. Even for the people that are part of the production crew, they might be planning their lives and stuff, making purchases based off of money that they're expecting to have a year from now, kind of thing. So Black Lightning already ended. Thanks, Flash. I stopped mid-season 2. We got fused with Flash, so he's just over there. Tobias Whale was a cool big bad. Yep.
So in Naomi, what Superman was it?
Blacka.
Oh my God! You said who was Superman?
Like what Superman was it? Was it Superman Lois Superman? Was it Cavill Superman? Like
They don't even go that far, man. Like
Okay.
with the first episode of Supergirl back in the day before they had an actor cast, they had Superman come down and just reach his hand out, but he had like the Man of Steel suit on. They don't even go that far. It's just
I know he's just a blur, right? That goes
a
by.
passing blur. It's not even like it's focused on blur where you even like there's nothing to it.
Okay, thanks, Taylor. Yeah.
And that was episode 1. It was horrible. Like it was really bad. It felt like a YouTube original, like they had those cheesy YouTube original shows back in the day, and they hired like
sick.
that's the only thing that like that doesn't even fit in the mold. Like, they had like people who were like YouTube famous or lived off YouTube doing like vlogs and stuff. They would have them come in and do little corny shows. It's like that. It's honestly like watching that, but it's weird. But I appreciate everybody hopping on tomorrow night, right here on this channel at roughly 9 p.m. I probably have a thing for it here. Let's see. Myself, Panda, Sector 2815, Nick's Kicks and Comics, and DJ Links. We'll be going live unboxing the Big Time Collectibles mystery box. We're going to be doing a mystery box battle. I talked to John Jang earlier today, and he's going to try to hop on and guest judge. He's going to try to. He's busy these days. If you follow his stuff, you see how busy he is. He's constantly dropping stuff. He's got conventions coming up and all that good stuff. But it's going to be a blast. We're going to do a giveaway during it as a way of saying thank you to everybody coming and hanging out. And we're going to also need the people there in the live chat to help judge as well. So, good stuff, good stuff. And also, there's going to be a huge announcement coming up. If you follow myself or DJ Link's Instagram, you see where there's a little tease that was dropped for a big announcement coming. That's gotten another step closer even while we were live tonight. Took a big step in getting that ready. But I'm very excited for that announcement, and appreciate everyone hopping on. If you have not already, pinned in the comment section right now is Ryan's new website for where he's dropping his writing projects. It's completely free. You don't have to subscribe to any, or you don't have to sign up to anything or download anything. Just hit that website link and drop your email in there, and you'll have short stories sent directly to your inbox on your email. That's all you got to do. Nothing else beyond that. And just enjoy some good content. Chris, on the other hand, will be posting a video tomorrow. Tell us about your video, Chris.
Hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, I'll be announcing a date for my 700 subscriber giveaway in the very near future. So
I just pictured Captain America waking up at the end of the first Avengers. You all right, Cap? I had a date.
Yeah, I had a date.
Oh man,
Excellent acting.
She's probably dead now, right? Okay.
Yeah, Captain Carter cannot do this all day. And with that note, y'all have a good night. We are leaving.